Morning, everybody. Going for a little stroll here at Kintec, footwear and orthotics. It's good to be back at the location in Hamilton. We were here in June, back with Anthony. Good to see you, pal.
Good to see you.
So in June is very exciting because this is the first store in Ontario.
That's right. That's right.
Let's revisit some of the history.
Yeah, so we're a Vancouver-based company that opened up in June, end of May, June in Hamilton. Basically, our mission is to keep people active on their feet for life. So we do biomechanical gait analysis, range of motion testing. We do custom foot orthotics, orthopedic footwear, compression, bracing products to help people do the activities that they love to do.
Why am I walking on this treadmill?
It's part of our normal routine, right? So as people come in, we want to know a little bit about who you are, what you do, your medical conditions, previous injuries, surgeries, anything like that, anything that would affect your ability to move well. Okay. So this is a big part of our assessment.
And this is good because, so I was here in June, I got fitted for a pair of orthotics, and then I'm having a few issues, right? But that's all kind of part of the process too, is if there is any flare-ups, because orthotics can be adjusted.
That's right, 100%. We need to be able to adjust the orthotic to how the individual is responding to the device, okay? It's a custom-made device, so if we can't adjust the parameters of the device based on how someone is experiencing it, then it's not truly a custom-made device.
Oh, there's my ugly orthotic that I just pulled out. So, so then I came back for a reassessment, and just, you were kind of figuring out where I was getting some of the pain.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about what's been going on over the couple months that you've been working with them.
Yeah.
You've been doing some activity, kind of barefoot exercises, things like that. So we needed to increase the level of support of the orthotic to help protect your foot and reduce some of the stress and strain being applied to that soft tissue.
Okay, so that's one of the good news when it comes to Kintec. The other has to do with this gentleman standing right beside me. Who's this?
This is Corey. He's our manager and podorthist for our new St. Catharines location that's opening up today.
Okay, so that's got to be exciting, right? So this is the first one. How's it been going since you guys have been open?
It's been great. We're really excited about bringing this experience to the community in Ontario, Hamilton, St. Catharines, and we'll keep moving on.
Because the thing is, so you have a whole wall of shoes here too. So it's just not about the orthotics. It's about that whole process involved in keeping you healthy and walking and active.
That's right. Footwear plays just as much of an important role in our treatment plans as our custom foot orthotics, our braces, and our compression. So much technology goes into footwear these days that we can use that to assist and complement what we're doing with a custom-made device or an over-the-counter device.
Okay, because even looking at these shoes,
they're looking a little beat up.
Okay, I'd look at this shoe and like, huh, really? But we'll talk about that. Do you need an appointment? Like, can you come right to the door? Like,
you can walk in. It's best to make a reservation so we can sit down and have a conversation with you, get to know you a little bit, try a few things on, go through that process of gait analysis, do all the measurements that we need to do to ensure that we get the right shoe for your foot shape and the activities that you love to do.
Okay, we're going to take that off of you. We're going to put that on him. Put him to the test.
Right on.
Corey is opening up the St. Catharines store today. Very exciting. We'll be back with Kintec, footwear and orthotics on Morning Live. Welcome back to Kintec in Hamilton. Yes, it's another morning where you get to look at my feet all morning. Fun times, right? But this is actually really cool. I want to introduce Corey. Hey, Corey.
How you doing?
So Corey is kicking off the Kintec store in St. Catharines.
Yeah.
Bit of a homecoming for you too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so born and raised in St. Catharines and moved out west about 5 years ago, and moved back about a month and a half ago.
Right. Yeah. Family still in St. Catharines?
Yeah, family's still there.
Okay, and it's exciting for you guys because you guys are just opening up. And if you don't know Kintec, there's a whole this is all part of the service.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're coming in for your appointment to kind of assess the situation. I do have some orthotics from you guys, but we've tackled the orthotic thing. What we don't talk about as much is the actual, what the orthotic goes into.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so from a footwear standpoint, you know, that's a huge part of our treatment process and treatment plans is making sure that your orthotic can fit properly into a pair of shoes and that you're in something that not only feels comfortable and looks good, but also functions properly as well.
So those are my feet.
Yeah.
So it scans everything about my foot.
Yeah, for sure. So this is called our Volumental Scanner. It's a 3D scanning technology that we offer. And what this does is it will capture thousands of data points of the feet and can give us, accurate measurements about length and width.
To even help you out find the proper footwear?
Yeah,
that
for
will
sure.
help too. What are some important figures on the screen here?
Yeah, so we have sort of your basic length and width, which is obviously very important for fitting footwear.
E and D is?
Yeah, so a D width for men is just your standard medium width, and an E width, you're actually in between a medium and a wide. So a bit of a difference between left and right, which is actually very common.
Is there one thing that you find a lot of the time where people have issues, like arch height? Is that something that's really popular?
Yeah, absolutely. So arch height can be one of those problematic things, not for everybody, but in your case here, we can see that both feet are sort of at the low end of that scale. And that can lead sort of into conversation about insoles or orthotics.
Okay, so these are my shoes. Year and a half old maybe.
Okay.
Remember? I don't know. As I'm getting older, I'm realizing a good piece of footwear is kind of pretty important. You look at these and think what?
Yeah, so first thing, having the shoes for about a year and a half, it's probably a little bit over our time expectancy of them. We typically say anywhere from 6 to 12 months, depending on how frequently you're wearing them, what you're wearing them for. We do also like to look at things like wear patterns on the shoes.
Is there wear patterns on there?
Nothing that's excessive or abnormal, and that's really what I'm looking for. We're going to see wear patterns, obviously, the longer that you've had them, typically sort of around the back corner of the heel here. Yeah, so we'll see that, and what's most important is we want to make sure that it's even on both sides. If there's a wear pattern that is abnormal, or if it's sort of unilateral, one side only, that can lead to some other conversations.
Because I have had some issues as of late since I've got the orthotics, and a lot of it might not have to do about the orthotic itself, but not using the orthotic all the time. Like I'm walking around the house in bare feet, working out in bare feet, so that will affect down the line everything.
Absolutely. So not only being in a good pair of shoes outside in the real world, walking around, but having something that's supportive around the house too. Putting your orthotics into something like that as well can be very helpful.
Well, we got a wall of shoes. So how about we take a break? We'll have more from Corey from the St. Catharines Kintec Footwear and Orthotics that is opening up today. They also have the location here in Hamilton, and we'll kind of highlight what he thinks might be a good fit for me from the running shoes aspect, and then maybe a little bit later more slipper aspect. When we come back on Morning Live. Timmy needs a new pair of shoes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Kintec in Hamilton, but exciting news with Kintec because just opened up a new store, and right here, Corey from Kintec in St. Catharines getting going today. So I know you're excited to meet a lot of new people and bring the brand, because it's a West Coast brand, bring the brand to Ontario. It's been in Hamilton for the past few months now. We were here in June and got all fitted out with an orthotic. Then I was having a few issues. So it's all about the readjustment, coming back in and figuring out what my issue is, but it's also proper footwear.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're going to dive into now.
Okay, because we looked at these ones, and these are my old shoes that are about a year and a half old. It's a couple of wear and tears in certain areas.
Yeah, nothing that's abnormal, but definitely time for a new pair for you.
So when you're talking to somebody like myself about a new pair of shoes, what are the main questions that you're asking?
Yeah, so we're really looking at purpose of the footwear. So what you're planning on wearing the shoes for, whether it be for work or for activity, and then that can sort of help us determine what functions or features we're looking for in footwear. Also looking at things like what type of pain you're experiencing, if you're experiencing any, if you wear a custom orthotic or any other device that has to go inside of the shoe.
So my orthotics are in here right now. Is there one thing that people do wrong when they're buying shoes?
Yeah, often buying them too small or too short, lengthwise. So that's one thing that we really like to look at is length and width measurements. And then making sure, again, that any extra device will fit inside properly.
Are certain brands better than others? New Balance, that's what I've had in the past. I like New Balance.
Yeah, no, not one brand is better than the other. It really depends on the function that we're looking for and the features that the shoe can provide, and ultimately how it fits you, and make sure that it fits each individual person.
Like I kind of told you with these, this is something so I've been working out at home in bare feet.
Yeah.
And that might be an issue of why, let's say my left side heel is flaring up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, with the pandemic and things too, being at home a lot more, or starting a new activity. A lot of our patients and customers are experiencing some discomfort with that.
Okay. You got another brand here that I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
What's this one?
So Hoka, they've been around for a while.
Funky things.
They've been around for a while, but they're getting a lot more popular, not only with the running community, but also with the orthopedic community too. They've got lots of benefits.
Because you got one there that's Gore-Tex. That's more of a hiker, right?
Yeah, so it's the same shoe, but this one comes in a Gore-Tex option. So waterproof for being outdoors, especially this time of year. And then has that nice full tread on it as well for gripping into softer surfaces.
So what's so unique about these?
So yeah, so Hoka's got a couple of different features. The different models of shoes, of course, will be a little bit different from one another, but this particular Hoka shoe has a pretty thick stack height, as we call it. So it gives you lots of additional cushioning in the midsole. And it has a very stiff midsole with a bit of a forefoot rocker. So one of the things you'll notice as soon as you tie these guys up, start taking a few steps around, is once you get up onto the balls of the feet, you're really going to notice it sort of propel you forward.
Okay. Because if somebody's coming in, you suggest an appointment.
Yeah,
It's best to do that because you're spending about a half hour going through all the steps that we've been doing this morning. Whoa! That does feel weird. You get used to that?
Yeah, for sure. It's something we definitely don't want to put individuals with balance issues or anything in with, but yeah, this one's actually quite tame. Again, it depends on the model of shoe.
The color's not tame, but other parts of it are tame. Okay, let's take another break. Let me get used to these. Cool, I like them. But the other aspect is, like, what about flip-flops? What about slippers around the house too? Putting your orthotics in that? That's something that we can kind of tackle when we come back with Kintec, footwear, and orthotics. Just opening up a brand spanking new spot in St. Catharines on Morning Live. Morning, everybody. Welcome back to Kintec in Hamilton. They've been open for a few months now, but pretty exciting because they've just opened another spot in St. Catharines. And if you go into that store, you're going to see this man right there. Back with Corey, podorthist. Did I get it?
Exactly.
Podorthist. Okay. And so I've been talking to you guys throughout the morning, and even in my last visits, is plantar fasciitis is my issue.
Yeah.
Very common.
Yeah, very common.
In my right one specifically, and the toughest time is in the morning.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah, so very common first thing in the morning for people to experience pain like stepping out of bed. So essentially what happens is if you're on your feet throughout the entire day, that tissue is being overworked or overstretched. So when you go to sleep or go to bed, that tissue tries to repair itself. So it sort of shortens, it gets tighter, it sort of relaxes a bit. First thing in the morning when you step up out of bed, it tries to rapidly extend or expand, and oftentimes that's when you experience pain.
So a good tip would be
to wear some in-home footwear.
Just have them right by the bed so you're actually stepping into them. And what's unique about these guys here?
Yeah, so the unique thing about these is you can actually remove the regular insole.
So
or
that's
liner.
the regular insole, and I'm putting my insole in there.
Yeah, so you can actually throw your orthotic right inside, which is nice.
I kind of only have one pair of orthotics. Like, do you need multiple sets of orthotic? Can you be moving them back and forth? Does that harm them at all?
No, it doesn't harm them. It can decrease sort of the overall life expectancy of them. So we do usually recommend to have at least more than one pair.
Right.
You can sort of leave them in different things, but not necessarily needed. You can still switch the one pair back and forth if needed.
So using those. Okay, so this is an option. What are some other, because those are full sizes too. That's an 11. That works.
Yeah.
Right. Other options could be?
Yeah, so some other options, you could take a look at like a supportive sandal that has a pre-built-in arch support.
Something like that?
Yeah.
So this is this Hoka. This is what the shoe I was wearing in the previous segment.
Yeah, for sure. So it still has that really thick midsole, super soft, quite cushioned, easy to slide into even if you're wearing socks. Nice and lightweight.
Right now, because we went through the summer, people are wearing flip-flops that do not have the proper support. So like that's you're getting more and more issues there.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're wearing them casually, or if you're wearing them, if you're out in public, having something that has that really good arch support built into it, has a lot of additional cushioning, can be extremely helpful.
How big is price when people are coming in?
It can be a big factor. Finding something that is not only suitable to the person with the fit, the function, and the feel, but finding something that's within their price range is hopefully something we can accomplish.
But it's also at the same time, that's through the whole service that we've been showing throughout the morning here. It's just not, you're just a shoe store, you're coming in and picking out, oh, I like that color, that's the one for me.
Exactly, and that's what we want to try and prevent is somebody walking in and just picking something based on looks or aesthetic.
Okay, and hence why it's best to have an appointment, come in,
Yeah.
talk with you, go through your history, step on the treadmill, get an assessment so you're getting the proper fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so you're open for business. That's exciting.
We are, open today.
In your hometown. So thanks for helping me out.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Because I don't know, as you get older, it's pretty important to have good feeling feet.
But I